So I guess a bit of background. So OpenMoney started as a business, I guess, around about 4 years ago, with the idea that they wanted to be able to provide financial advice to individuals, guidance around different aspects of their finances, money management tools, those sorts of things. And what we decided to do was to look at, well, how can we reach a wider audience? Where do we think the expectation is from individuals as to where they're going to access information? So what's a trusted source for them? And it became more and more prevalent too, is that employers will have that demand put on them by employees, that individuals and employees themselves are looking towards their employer to provide financial advice, and not just around pensions, but also around the personal side of their finances. So, you know, from an employee's perspective, employees that maybe are struggling with the finances won't be particularly productive or won't be particularly engaged. So there's certainly a demand there. And OpenMoney as a business has developed over the last 4 years in terms of the different services that they offer, which we'll obviously talk about. But the main premise was, well, you know, for most financial advisors in the industry, what they're looking for are high net worth individuals who have got cash to invest, and don't really want to be talking to people who maybe don't have cash to invest, and maybe the best thing for them is to look at how they save money, how they pay down debt, that sort of thing, and get those individuals to a point in which they've got control of the finances, and at that point they'll be in a position to start to invest. So that was the kind of premise of OpenMoney. And on the back of that, we launched WorkLife about a month ago, with the idea being that to get OpenMoney services and to talk to clients about their employees' finances, what's the best way to do that? And from our perspective, that was to look at a workplace platform. And that's why we launched WorkLife, as I say, about a month ago. And the idea being that, as well as offering the services that the WorkLife that OpenMoney offer through financial advice, guidance, the employee money management tools, was to say, well, actually, what else are businesses looking for? And I know from experience that for many businesses in the kind of smaller SME range, it's been something that they've been able to wanted to offer to employees for a long time, but the costs are just too prohibitive. So, you know, for a small business of 20, 30, 40 people to have a proper working benefits platform that's got a range of benefits on there, you were looking at big setup fees, longer times with contracts, and the financial commitment was just too high. So we looked at it from a slightly different angle and said, well, actually, if we can create a platform that's got all these benefits embedded into them already, so it's got a good range of core benefits, alongside the OpenMoney advisory and the financial education piece and some other things, and we can package this to say to a business, come and join the platform for your employees. We won't charge you anything up front, so we won't charge you project fees, we won't charge you implementation fees. We won't tie you into a contract, so in the same way that we all subscribe to Netflix and Spotify and whatever it may be, that seems to be the way that financial models have gone for technology, and we're happy to embrace that. So we're not looking for a big financial commitment from a business, and therefore there's no risk. So we realised that being able to attract and retain good people requires a good benefits package, but we wanted to fill the gap that we saw in the marketplace, to say we can do this, we can help your 20, 30 employees in the same way that working for a global multinational accounting business or whatever it may be can do, because we've done the hard work in the background, we've set the platform up, we've sourced the benefits, we've implemented them, and we'll support you as an employer to be able to use the reporting functionality of it as well. So that was kind of the premise of WorkLife. As I say, for employees, the three main pillars of what we offer as our core offering for employees to the platform is the financial well-being, the advice, and the money management tools. So our journey starts with OpenMoney starts with a financial health check, which pulls through information, asks certain questions, takes the employee through a journey, and basically assesses them to say, well, okay, at the end of this health check and journey that we've done, what is the outcome for you? So it could well be But the advice is to pay down debts or to use the money management app, as you can see there. So there's open banking on there as well. And then once an employee's gone through that phase, it may well be that actually they're now in a position, as I mentioned before, to invest or to save. So that's kind of the first part of what OpenMoney does on the platform. That's the first pillar of what we do. We know there's a massive demand for financial education and guidance in the workplace, and we have that as a core of the business. The second part we have, and again very prevalent at the moment, is around employee wellbeing. So we partner with a company called Thrive. They're an award-winning NHS approved application, which has been around about 3 years now. There's around about 2.5 million users worldwide, and we have a partnership with them. So we include this within our subscription cost. And again, that goes back to our model of, we want one subscription per employee per month that's low cost. So we haven't got any hidden costs and things like that in there. But we recognise that the 3 pillars that we know employers and employees are looking for are the financial education side of it, the mental and physical health and well-being, and the access to discounts on whichever products or services that may be. So the app that we have, which complements the OpenMoney app, is Thrive. There's around about 100 hours of training on there, and some other services as well, conditioning, those sorts of things. They also, in combination with us, run a number of regular webinars and seminars, both for you as an employer, but also for employees as well. Provide some great MI in terms of usage and goal setting and those and different things like that. So lots of information is available through that app for you as an employer, and we include that, as I say, within our core offering. We also have the eVestor platform. So again, going back to the money management and financial education tools, when somebody is ready to invest, we have our eVestor offering, which is ISAs, junior ISAs, general investment accounts for employees to be able to save. We are looking to launch probably next quarter a workplace ISA. So that essentially will sit alongside a business's workplace pension, so we can offer salary deducted contributions into an ISA in the same way that you would do into a pension scheme. We're hoping to have that launched probably for Q4 this year, and that's come on the back of a lot of demand from individuals and from employers to say, well, okay, we want to encourage employees to start saving cash. They already save into a pension because of auto enrollment requirements, and obviously it's a slightly different way of saving anyway, because there isn't an instant access element to it, and we are working to launch that as part of our core offering as well. So that will be something that we're moving towards very quickly. As I mentioned there, stocks and shares ISA, personal pensions, although it doesn't really apply to workplace, and the GIA. And there's just a few of the clients and partners that we are working with to provide the WorkLife service at the moment. That will continue to grow. We've got some exciting stuff around workplace pensions that we're about to launch, and some other things in the pipeline as well. But what I wanted to do was just to give you an idea of what our core offering is, just on those few slides. So as I mentioned, we saw the requirement for a fixed low cost with lots of things included within it. So at the moment we have our core offering there, £2 per employee per month, no setup costs, no tie-ins, and we are looking to offer it free for the rest of the year. So any employee that signs up with us between now and the end of the year will get it free for the rest of 2020. And the biggest reason we've done that is that we recognise that employers and businesses are looking for ways to support their employees during this pandemic. It's something that none of us foresaw, and something that we're all having to get used to working with, and we thought, well, a good way to do that will be to say to employees, we can offer the advice and guidance that you need, because we know from the research that we've done that the biggest worries for employees at the moment are obviously their health, the mental health and the finances. So to be able to offer those things to employees now with no cost and no obligation, we think is really important. So what I'm going to do now is just switch to the demo. And while I do that, are there any questions at all, just in terms of the background to what we do or the services that we offer? Okay. hopefully you can all see that. So for all of our clients, we have, this is a demo version, obviously, a dummy client essentially, but essentially for all clients that have a platform, you have your individual platform. So from a data protection perspective, from a perspective of having your own unique portal, that's what we do. We don't offer a one size fits all. Everybody's system is different. And as part of the security for employees, we have a two-step verification, which I won't go through now, but it can be done through Google, Apple Play, Google Play or App Store. And the first part I'm going to show you is actually the dashboard. So this is what an employer and HR finance function would be able to see in terms of the dashboard. So part of what WorkLife does is not just to give employees access to benefits, it also helps the business to be able to look at the MI in terms of usage, in terms of being able to pull down reports, whether that's for payroll, whether that's for MI reasons, whatever that may be. So it's a basic dashboard which shows the different benefits of how different employees have selected different benefits. You can schedule different windows, so if you wanted to offer certain benefits and only allow a strict time frame within that, so if you want to offer cycles to work but only during a certain period of the year that employees can sign up, you can set those windows. The same with things like season tickets. So if you want to offer season tickets at the beginning of the year and an employee pay that back over 12 months, you can set windows there to be able to do that. There's also a engagement tool, engagement module within here, so you can actually set your own engagements within the system, and it can then email or contact the employees in the site through the system and provide information, whether that's updates on the benefits, whether that's details of a new benefit or a new offer that's come through onto the platform. So one of the biggest functions that the admin side of the system does is that it can create pretty much any output that you want it to. So you can import data into it, whether that's employee data, details of dependents or selections. You can also custom define, so you can create any report with any parameters that you want to. So you can build that structure within the platform as well. It's really easy to do. So if your particular payroll or your particular reporting requires to look at a certain demographic of staff, or to look at active members, inactives, people within a certain salary banding, you can do all that through the site. And you can also record how data inputs are put into the site as well. So it does create a full audit trail of any changes within the system. And then you can also look at things like inquiries. So you can look at access status. So you can add people on here to have employer access, HR access. So there's a massive range of things that you can do within the system, and obviously this is kind of the back end and reporting side of it. But I guess the main part to look at is what employees see, which I'm just going to switch to now. So this essentially is the platform. You'll see at the top here we have 4 areas. The home button, which brings you this screen, which has got details of an employee's available benefits, and that scrolls across. So if somebody wants to look or view a benefit, can do it from here or by clicking view all. The me and my family section, so we can look at family details within the platform. Don't know what that was. So you can have things like dependents, that sort of thing into the system. So beneficiaries, you can look at your employee benefits package here to see what you have, what the cost is to you, what the cost is to the business, and a total reward statement as well. So this is basically a navigation page. The big one inside this core offering, which is what I'm showing you today, is the benefits page. So in here would be listed all the benefits that an employee has. So if we look at, say, something like cycles to work, which they can go in and select. Details of how that works will be in here. So we click on more info. There'll be details of Cycle Scheme, which is the provider we work with, about how the benefit works, what the potential tax savings are, what the steps are to purchase a bike or equipment, and details of the application. We also embed things like videos and details within each of the benefits as well. And again, if you want to navigate back to benefits there, you can do. So any benefits that are made available to employees, and as I say, we offer certain benefits as core, certain ones can be added. We can even add your own benefits in, so details of your own existing staff schemes, existing death and service, whatever it may be, we can do that. In terms of the benefits package, you can see that information there, and you can view it as a weekly cost, a monthly cost, or annual cost. And we also have a range of benefits that we offer through the portal as well. So these can be added by you as an employer at any point if you want to, and details are set within there. Also included is details of anybody who's using salary sacrifice benefits, so whether that's cycles to work, or you've got some legacy childcare voucher clients or tech devices, and the total reward statement will show what those tax savings are. And that's probably one of the other big things that's included in the system is a total reward statement. And this is done based on a live data basis. So at the moment, we haven't selected any benefits within the site, but if you choose any of the salary sacrifice benefits, for example, cycles or tech devices, or your employer pension contribution, anything that you fund as an employer will pull through into here, even things like bonuses if you input that data. So you can have effectively a live total reward statement that employees can view at any point. They can do that as a chart. They can have that as a table. And again, you can access details of benefits here. So what the cost is to you as an employer, or what the cost is to the individual employee as well. And there's also details of other benefits that are available, which you can pull through back from here. So things like the GP Anytime service, virtual GP will be available here. So all that pulls through back into the My Benefits section, total reward section. There's also a section within here which is around wellbeing. So these are just some useful tips and hints for employees. This can be switched in and out as and when more or less content comes in, or if you have something you want to add yourself, you can actually do that into the system as well. As I say, we work with Thrive, but there are lots of things that employers are now doing around mental, physical health and well-being, and we have that pretty well covered off with Thrive, with the partnership we have with Health Shield around health cash plans, virtual GP, employee assistance program, and counselling sessions. So again, there's lots of things that are available within the site. If we look at something like the personal insurances, back into benefits. So if you look at something like individual life cover, so individuals looking to take out life insurance can do that through the platform as well. That just takes you through into our partner section, and again we can provide MI within this particular site. So where we look at individuals who maybe have looked at life cover or income protection cover, we can pull reports that are anonymised, but we can look at how employees are using the different benefits that are in the platform, and we'll provide regular updates to all our clients to give them information around what benefits are proving popular, where we're getting to see quite a lot of demand, and likewise where we're not, and we're looking to maybe change the proposition that we have to meet the requirements. So loads of information there, loads of detail for employees to access. We also have that we can add on free of charge a reward and recognition platform, which sits underneath this. It is part of the core. We don't offer it standard, but it is there if you want to be able to use it. And again, that will offer things like rewards for employees, long service rewards, that sort of thing, and that comes alongside the site as well. The final bit I'll show you is just an ability for employees to update their own data. So we can store in there basically personal information. You can add in beneficiary information as well. So if you want to add details of your spouse, your kids, and your employee was looking to take out a health cash plan or life assurance to cover family members as well, they can input the information once into the system, and where they select certain benefits, they can actually pull that information directly through. Same for beneficiaries, so people that want to nominate beneficiaries for their life cover, their pension, should something happen to them, they can do that within here as well. and they can also look at last time they logged in, change their details in terms of their passwords and those sorts of things. So we're trying to make the system as self-sufficient as possible, as easy as possible for employees to use, but also from the perspective of you as working within the business, and say within the HR function or managing your employees, that it takes away some of the burden for you to be able to use the system for employees essentially to self-serve for a lot of things that they need. And given where we are at the moment in terms of we don't really know where we're going to be in the next 6-12 months in terms of working location, the vast majority of on this call today will be working at home. So having a piece of technology which manages and promotes the benefits, allows employees to access them at any time from anywhere, is becoming more and more important. So that's just a really, really quick view of how the system works. Obviously, if you do want to go into a more kind of in-depth view of the site itself, you can contact us and we can arrange for a demo login to be created for you, so you can take it away, have a more in-depth play with it, see how it might work with any existing systems you have or any existing benefits that you have. So we can do that. But I'll drop the screen off for now and I'll answer any questions that you have.
I think there might be one question in the chat, Rob. It says, what's the current stats on employee uptake on staff benefits?
The current stats on our platform? The two biggest that have been used at the moment are the financial advice and education and the wellbeing. Because of where we are in terms of lockdown, as part of our core package, we offer, for example, discount. There's the free access to discounted gym membership, which obviously at the moment, well, from Saturday onwards, have not been able to use up until that point. The big one we've seen an uptake in, I guess, which has surprised me, is around individual life assurance cover and income protection. And I expected income protection, I guess, to be a little bit of interest within it, but actually the demand for life cover and maybe people thinking about, what potential shortfalls they might have in their finances if something may happen to them, we've seen much higher than expected. What we haven't seen a massive increase in is the retail discounts platform, which comes along with it as well. So we thought, well, okay, maybe if people are furloughed and they're having to budget a bit more, that we'd see a big uptake in people taking advantage of retail discounts, and we just haven't. And part of that, I think, is because people are reluctant to spend, or maybe have been because they're worried about potentially where their job may be in the future. But the other part of it, I think, is that people like Amazon have almost got a monopoly over the market, and people just automatically have that reflex to go, I need to buy something, I'll just go on Amazon and do it, as opposed to going anywhere else for it. And that probably stems from habit. And what we're trying to do with the discounts portal that we have here is to say, well, it's not just about purchasing things, it's about how you can save cash on your bills, on your insurances, on the things that you have to spend money on, not buying new headphones or whatever, or new laptop. It's about the things you have to spend cash on, and how can you access those discounts from anywhere. And we are starting to see a bit of an uptake with the engagement on the money management tools. We've certainly seen it with OpenMoney, a massive surge in demand for financial education and advice, just because people are just worried about where they are at the moment, where the job may be in the future. But yeah, it's been really surprising in terms of the areas we thought we'd get demand, we have. Certainly on the personal insurances, we've seen a massive increase.
Just another question from the chat as well. It's yes. What do you think the three biggest challenges HR face on bringing staff back to work?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest challenge I think for everybody is how you operate an office under social distancing. That's more a practical thing. I think the challenge for employees is more of a mental thing. I think there's a lot of anxiety within a lot of individuals around, going back in the office after 3-4 months away, getting used to basically almost having to reacclimatise and readjust. And I know personally, my first day back in the office is today, and I wasn't nervous, but it still felt a little bit strange. How safe is traveling on the train, or it's almost the psychological barriers of how do you recondition people to think, actually, well, if you have worked from home, how do you readjust? But if you haven't, if you've been furloughed, it's even more difficult, I think, to just snap back into the old routine. So things like supporting employees' mental well-being, giving them some ways to almost re-enter. So whether that's through phasing a return to work, whether that's through working in different rotas, X amount of people in the office per day as a maximum, those sorts of things. I think a lot of companies now are moving to the perspective of, let's try and get back to some normality, with the understanding that there's probably more expectation from employees that they should be allowed to have more flexibility in where they work and how they work.
Any more questions from anyone? I think that might be it. If anyone's got any questions, oh, we've got another one. Someone's asking to talk about pricing after the call. We can set that up. Lily, I'll speak to you after the call. And do you believe employers have a duty of care, Rob?
Yeah, they obviously do. I mean, they have a legal duty of care, but I think employers more and more now are expected to really help with the day-to-day well-being of employees. So, not just from a legal perspective, but from almost a moral obligation. And I think part of it is employers, I think, now understand that they're much more important than they used to, that the relationship between employers and employees is almost symbiotic. So employers are expecting their employees to come in, to work hard, to be productive, to be engaged, but there's also an expectation from employees that I expect my employees to provide certain things, or to give me access to certain things, to support me. Because ultimately, the more support you can give to your employees, whether that's financial, whether that's emotionally, whether that's through well-being, the more engaged they're going to be, the less likely they are to look to move to another job, the more likely they are to be engaged and to be productive. So it's vitally important that the employers show a duty of care to their employees. And then, as I say, the well-being of us all is important. And I think during this lockdown, we've seen, I think, that the good employers, the employers in the marketplace that have, been understanding and considerate, and the way that they've treated employees who maybe are struggling, are the ones that are going to reap the benefits in the long term.
Perfect. Just another question coming in, Rob. How quickly can people get the system onto their business and get using the benefits straight away?
Really quickly. So we are working at the moment of around a turnaround of around 10 days, 10 working days. Obviously, that will depend on whether or not you require any additional customization, or how that sits with, say, your payroll cut-off or whatever it may be. But yeah, we can move really quickly. So yeah, drop us a line if you want to discuss it in more detail.
I've left my email on the chat, so if anyone wants to get in touch afterwards, just drop me a line. I can put you in touch with Rob.
Yeah, or we can go through the website as well. We've got the inquiries address on there as well.
Perfect.
Well, great. Well, thanks to all of you for attending. As I say, as Chris said, you can contact us at any point, have a chat with us. If you do want to run through more the technical side of the system, or how an implementation might work, or the ongoing support, whatever it may be, then get in touch with us. Please do. We can have a chat one-on-one. We'll be happy to hear from you.